What's going on, everyone? Michael here. Now, we're in a little bit of a lull, so to speak, in regards to product that's coming out. We have Crown Zenith that's been out for a little while now. You know, it still has some products that are trickling out a little bit, but for the most part, we've talked about the pull rates. We talked about how much we like it. We've talked about the market and how it's reacting. And we also are still waiting for Scarlet and Violet. We're about 3 weeks away. I don't remember the actual release date, but we're about 3 weeks away. So, considering there's really nothing to talk about, we're going to talk about what's coming next. And that is the Scarlet and Violet base set. Now, I do have maybe some hot opinions on what I think about it, but I want to go ahead. So for the most part, the set is kind of reverting back to how sets used to be. Now, we don't have, at least from what I understand by looking at and just so everyone else knows, I am taking the card list off of a website called Justin Basil. Now, they do a lot of things like releases, kind of showcasing what's coming next, sets and all that. And what they're doing is they took Japan actually has already released a set that is supposed to be the English equivalent of Scarlet and Violet. So what they did is they took a lot of those cards. Now there's a few cards that have released in English, so it will have if it has an English card that's already been announced, it'll be there. But for the most part, they're going to show in Japanese. But it's a indication of what we can expect when our set comes out. So if you want to go take a look again, Justin Basil. So Justin as in the name, and then Basil as in the seasoning. It's that easy. So go look at that. Go take a look at that. Now, I want to first. So again, we're going back kind of to how things were before. Now we have your regular. Again, it's a whole new set. So we have, and Pokemon is doing a lot of different things with this set, but we still have our commons, our uncommons, our rares. Now they're calling. I don't know exactly what the symbol is, but instead of, the circle, the diamond, the star, we now have just a CUR. Now they have EXs, which are their new kind of ultra rare, I guess, and it's RR, and it's part of just the main set. Now, I want to talk about those because I am not a fan, to be honest. Now, there was a product that released. It was a Mimikyu box. Where did I get that? What was that in? That was in something. It came with the Mimikyu EX in it. So it's kind of, and actually it's a good look of what the EXs are going to look like. Now, I'm not a fan of the small borders. An ultra rare should look ultra, and it looks ultra. I will say that. But we got spoiled with all these full arts now. And at the very least, I will say that at least it has a different foil pattern to it. It kind of has this little starry pattern, like when take some of the reverse hollows and it kind of has that background pattern to it. That's kind of like how it is now. And it actually has a weird, I'm not sure if this is just a Mimikyu I got, but it's almost like a weird fog that's over the card. I'm not a huge fan of it. But the V's were kind of nice because they were full art. Like, it was most of the card. Obviously, it didn't extend to the entire card, but it was the majority of the card was art. And I kind of like that over, just a foil pattern. But I guess that's just my opinion. It's not that big of a deal. Now, the biggest thing is that so if you haven't played Scarlet and Violet, they have this thing, and they're called terrestrialized Pokemon. So what that is, it is where a Pokemon, let's say a Pikachu, normally an electric type Pokemon. Now, when, let's say, this Pikachu terrestrializes, it has the opportunity to become a different typing. Now, what did Pokemon do with that? All they did was they made the Pokemon look a little crystal. It looks exactly like an EX. The Pokemon itself just looks a little crystal-y, and the only difference is that it has a rule box saying that it can't be damaged while on the bench. The mark was not hard. It was so easy. All they had to, it is such a stupid way to introduce this. Now, I hope they change it and they're just doing this for the first set. So they had two Terra, they're called Terra in the TCG. There's two Terra Pokemon. There's Gyarados and there's Arcanine. Now, one's fire type, the Arcanine, one's water type, the Gyarados. They made them the same typing. It blows my mind why you would not just kind of show what they did in the game and just make them a different typing. Maybe give them, a Gyarados, one water attack, and then one, I don't know, pick a typing, one dark attack. Give it something different. Like, that'd be so cool. They did that. What are they called? Prime? No. They had them a while ago where they had Pokemon that were different typing than their original typing. And that would have been so much cooler. You can even keep the EX part of it. Keep the crystal. It doesn't look great, in my opinion. If you're going to make a different typing, like Radiant, the Radiant cards were awesome. These, I really hope the foil pattern looks different, but they missed a huge mark. That is the gimmick of Scarlet and Violet, is these Terra Pokemon, and they completely missed the mark. I mean, let's talk about Sword and Shield. That's where you had the Gigantamax Pokemon, and you had all these VMAXs, and they didn't look great. They looked cool, but at least they were different than a V card. No, these Terra Pokemon just look like the other EXs, and I'm getting a little heated because I talked about in another video how I felt like they were doing a good job at diversifying the different types of cards in these sets, and they kind of just went all back, and I hate it. So, again, I type no Radiant cards. They are done with that. We'll maybe see them later, I'll assume. That's kind of like shiny Pokemon. We see them here and there. Looking at the website, it doesn't look like there's necessarily a trainer gallery or any kind of gallery. We have Galarian gallery. It doesn't look like there's a specific gallery, subset gallery, that's going to be easy to pull. Let me say that. It's going to be easy to pull. In Justin Basil's website, they state, now I don't know how accurate this is, and we'll have to see, but they say that every full art card is now a secret rare. Now, as we all know, secret rares are really, really hard to pull. You may get one of those in a booster box. Maybe. And normally you would get one full art and then hopefully one secret art. So the fact that every full art is now a secret rare, it's going to be extremely curious, and we are going to have to see when some boxes are finally opened what these pull rates are. Because when we had Lost Origin, just take every Trainer Gallery main set that came out, you are averaging between like 10 and 15 hits with the Trainer Gallery included. And those were awesome. Like 1/3 of your booster box had stuff. And then let's go back to, we'll say Evolving Skies, because I'm sure everyone has horror stories of Evolving Skies, where you end up with 6 hits and maybe 1 full art. And then the rest were just Vs. I would hate to get to the point where all these, and I will say this, there is so much good art in this set. They are not skipping on the art. They have a whole bunch of good art. It would be an absolute shame if no one gets to pull those because they just made them in secret rares. We had Chilling Reign. Chilling Reign had a bunch of alternate arts. But because they're so hard to pull, it's like it's big. You're huge chasing all these cards. And it doesn't make the set more fun to open having more alt arts, having more hard cards to pull. We want more pulls. So I'm just curious to see if maybe they, depending on the type of card, they print it differently. It was kind of easy to determine when they had a trainer gallery because you knew you were going to pull like 3 or 4 of the trainer gallery, but they don't specify that anymore. They had Galarian Gallery for Crown Zenith, and we knew that the yellow bordered cards would be easier to pull than your silver bordered cards. So I think that's really my biggest issue. Well, besides the Terra Pokemon, that was a huge mark missed. But it's going to all come down to pull rates. how easy is it going to be to pull these cards? If it's going back to the way things were, where secret rares you maybe get one and you may get one full art, and you're only pulling one of these full art cards in a box, I think it's gonna take a huge hit. You can't. I really don't think Pokemon can revert back to those hit rates. People just, there's a reason why the new sets are revered as much as they are. Yes, they have some really, really awesome alternate art cards, but it's so much more enjoyable when you're pulling at least 10 hits in a pack, even if they're not super rare. Not, don't get me wrong, none of these all don't have to be super easy to pull, but you have to enjoy opening the packs, or else you're never gonna buy more. No one wants Evolving Skies where you get one alternate art every, I don't know, few cases, a case. We want cards. We as collectors love cards, and Pokemon has spoiled us with pulls. And we cannot just get rid of those pulls now. It's gonna feel so bad. Yes, those other cards look great. How many times, and I remember this, how many people went, what was it, Evolving Skies? The Sandaconda V, alternate art. Sandaconda V, alternate art. How bad was it to feel that you got an alternate art and you got a Sandaconda? And that was like one of the only alt arts you think you could ever pull because you just don't get that many packs, and you pulled a Sandaconda. You can't make all these cards just secret rares. They have to be in between your GX, EXs, and your alt arts. And I don't know exactly how it's gonna be. I'm assuming you kind of have your regular. Again, I don't even know what to call them. These gallery. I don't know what to call them. They're alt arts, I guess, but. You know, you have your Gardevoir EX. You know that's going to be harder. It is just going to be a wait and see. But it has me worried that Pokemon is going back to the way pools used to be. And the fact that they've added more foils, they can justify it now. They can say, hey, we're giving you 3 foils in a pack. We don't have to give you these secret rares. So I'm just worried. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for this set? I'd rather just keep pulling Crown Zenith. I don't care if the cards aren't as expensive as these Scarlet and Violet sets are going to be, but Crown Zenith is great. Is so much fun to pull, and that's all I want as a collector. And I have to assume most people want to have fun opening. So let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Are you going to get it? Is it a set that you're waiting for? Or are you just kind of like me where you're just coasting, just kind of waiting? And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a great day.